8th of May 2015. It would appear that I have cancer. I feel very scared. I want to tell the world to unburden myself of this, cast it away by sharing with others. But when I'm on my own, it is very scary. My story sort of really begins on the 7th of May. I had a ENT referral, went to see the specialist. Having looked on the internet, read about it, looked at my symptoms, thought glandular fever. Walked in, was examined, described my symptoms, and he just said, I think we need to be talking about cancer. How can one stay balanced about this? It's difficult, but I just try to kind of hold it together. I'm a great believer in transparency. I'm a great believer in talking about stuff, because I do believe that talking is a healer. And that's what I've done. I've been really open about this from day one.
But we didn't. I mean, cancer's always that thing, it's there, but you're always in denial about it. But you think, if you joke and say, well, it can't be cancer, then it won't be.
I had a roast dinner last night.
Via the blender? Or
No.
Oh, really?
As every day passes, where I have some maintained success in eating and doing good stuff, that it kind of spurs me on to try the next day. And actually these are some of the people, Paula particularly, and a few others as well, have been really encouraging.
Over recent years there's been a change, and we're seeing younger patients who don't smoke. You know, they're often from a different socio-economic group, they're not heavy drinkers, and they have a different type of disease, which is still a squamous cell cancer. It's still arising from the lining of the throat, but it looks like the process is driven by a virus, so human papillomavirus of a particular type, that seems to respond much better to treatment, regardless of almost what you do. Breathe normally, through your mouth. Yeah. Camera goes through your nose. Yep. Just let me know if it's sore. We think that it is related to changing sexual practices. It's a difficult thing to discuss openly in public, for obvious reasons, but that discussion needs to happen. It's out there, people are starting to pick up on that, and this is all quite new. Yeah, although the HPV rate of tumours is more than doubled over the last 15 years or so, it's still quite new in the context of head and neck cancer management. So people are still grappling with it and trying to find out what it all means.
It's a very public health matter, really, isn't it? Because interestingly, HPV accounts for quite a lot of diseases. And obviously we focus on head and neck cancer here, but it's also responsible, the same HPV strain, for anal cancer and cervical cancer. And as we know, the sort of vaccine has been rolled out for the girls, and it's discriminatory against the boys because it is a sexual transmitted disease. So whilst we're protecting girls against cervical cancer, and that's the sort of profile of it.
Well, as far as I know, and I'm not part of the decision making on that, as you say, it's out for consultation. It's being assessed and evaluated as a potential for all boys, for teenage boys. And yes, there is a vaccine available, and no, it's not being given, which is unfortunate. And I think once that becomes part of normal life and people start to have that vaccine, we may well see a decline in this sort of disease. We're reacting to the disease at the moment rather than doing anything active to try and prevent it, which is a problem. It certainly is looking at, and we I think as clinicians would support that. Yeah. And it's not an expensive vaccine. You can go and buy it at Superdrug if you really want it.